So one of the things that when I started, when I became a director for the first time, is that I noticed that throughout the teams that were being managed under me were like, we in our company we had something called mental days, and as I was going through and looking through the days, how people are taking vacations, how the PTOs, like trying to figure out how to balance work, I realized that a lot of the men are not taking mental days. They were not taking mental days they were supposed to. And mental days were not PTO, were not sick leave. Were just that you are feeling you're overwhelmed. You could take a few days and say, I'm resting, I want to ease myself up. And so it's something that I went and spoke to other directors and managers and asked them, have you noticed a trend here? Or is it just in my team? And it was something that we realized that a lot of the men in the company are not taking mental days. So we had to start coaching through HR and leadership. We had to start coaching and telling people like, yo, these days are here for you to use, right? There are times where I can see from your performances you're burnt out and you're not, and you're burnt out. It's not, and I can feel the frustration. That's why we have these mental days. You can take it out. And then another thing that we had in the office that we decided to put in flex hours and told people, like, we realize that most of you in the afternoon through work and just work and everyday project demands, most of you in the afternoon are not performing. Try putting your meetings in the morning and try coming in the morning at 6 a.m. and leave by 2:30. Like, try to make it easier for yourself to work. Like, we saw how the female employees, they were taking advantage of all these things, the flex works and all, because they would say, I have to go pick the kids from work, I have to go to this, I have to do this. So they were taking advantage of this. But it was the male counterparts who were just coming to work at 9 and leaving at 5, and nobody's taking flex days. Even PTOs, they're the ones who had the most accumulated PTOs. You see somebody had like 300 hours of PTO, and you're like, how much do you love your work? Because I don't think you're that busy. So it became something that as leadership, you had to look at it and start coaching your teams and telling them, okay, we start forcing you to go to mandatory PTO. You're not cashing out. You have to take your days.
Okay.
And you also have to start taking your flex days and to take your mental days.
All right. Important. Interesting. Uno, you had something you wanted to add?
No, I was going to add, and I think, even Joanne Oroport, she didn't like me calling her like that. Is mental awareness. Like for Africans, even with her starting that
Africans
branch,
for mental health.
Africans for mental, because sometimes men, not sometimes, men really do not, like Mika is saying, don't do that. Just mental, just even sit back and just do a mental check. You'll do a health check, you do your boys check, Ali, okay, whatever. There's some things probably that I've never talked to Ali about,
that's true.
or I've never talked to Omosha about, and some of those things are probably like, yo, Kade, I need to talk to you, just like that, like, yo, Maze, kuna hii situation, there's this situation, just that simple, but mamas, my guy, those ones,
they know how to do
they
it.
will call like Kamkunji.
They know how to do it, like they're comfortable doing it. So this is something that I think,
and all this translates, because it's trickled down or bottom. Is it bottoms up? Trickle down.
No,
sorry. But what I'm saying is it's a domino effect, because if this stuff is affecting you, let's say Nyumbani, it's gonna affect you, probably your relationship between, let's say, me and you, me and Ali, or me and Omosh, me and Mika, whatever, which eventually I will probably take it to Jobo, because when I'm at Jobo, I'm thinking about the Madhagwadani that's going on, and probably I don't even know how to handle
what you're going to
it.
go back to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it affects your performance.
It does. It does. And that is where the boy child thing, because I saw it, but Jobo is crazy. But I'm going to comment, but I think it was important to bring it up. Go ahead, but
yes, go ahead.
Can I quickly add, like, for men and women too, but for men, I'm going to give you guys a 3-part criteria to know it's time to get additional help that something's off, right? The first one is loss of confidence. If you are a person where for a long time you felt very confident in your execution, that the ability to get things done, and you're starting to feel internally a loss of confidence about your professional efficacy, that's a first sign, right? A second sign is the loss of emotional energy, right? We often call that burnout. When you start to feel emotionally, you're exhausted, right? It may not be physical, but you're feeling it emotionally. That's the second key. And then the third one is big. It's cynicism. When you start feeling negative about your work experience, the idea of going to work and you're feeling negative, the idea of connecting with your colleagues and you start feeling negative energy. So when you start experiencing negative energy and cynicism, that's your third sign that something's off and you need to go in, get to the root and solve that problem before you burn out and even potentially hurt your brand in the workplace.
Okay. All right. So we're running on overtime right now.